Hello, and welcome to another episode of Brenda's Musings. So today I want to talk about trying and how that leads to doing. Because doing is the action, and if you want to get anything accomplished, then that's where you're going to need to end up. But trying will come before the doing, and is probably, the next step to it. So when you try something, either it's going to go really, really well, it's going to go horribly wrong, or it's going to land somewhere in between. And as you know by now, I'm a firm believer of things usually landing somewhere in between. And if you've done enough research before you try something, you will have a pretty good indication of where it might land. So there shouldn't be any horrible surprises. and if it goes exceedingly well, better than you had imagined, then you can move right into the doing part of it. So I know that all sounds very, very cryptic, but sometimes before you try something, you need to have certain things that are aligned. You need to maybe have the right place to try something. You can't try building an airplane in your kitchen, for example. Although some people do it in their house or do it in their garage and then just take a wall out. But that's rare. You might need to think about the location. You might need to think about who you're with. Maybe you can't do this whatever it is you want to try on your own. Maybe you need somebody else around you who has other skill sets you don't have, or who is just there purely as your cheerleader to help you, get over that fright. Or, maybe you need other people in your court because you need certain permits, or you need, there's certain bits of red tape you have to get around. Just think about, who are the other people who are needed for this trial that you're going to do for it to move forward. And maybe it's just you, and that's fine too. But knowing that is an important step. And when is also an important piece of the puzzle that you need to know. So when is it right? What are the conditions like? Is it too windy, or is it too sunny, or is it too dry, or whatever? And I know this is all very cryptic because I don't want to sort of spend a lot of the time going through all kinds of examples of how you can try. I mean, you sort of know what's in your own life and where you are and what it is that you might want to try. So I'm just trying to think of, the different ways, different aspects you need to think about before you actually make that first step to try something. And so if you try it and it doesn't go nearly as well as you had hoped, then don't totally dismiss that. Look at it really carefully and grab anything that's in there that, maybe if there was been just this one little tweak, it might have worked. Like really, really sort of zone in on why it didn't work. And, if you can at all. And so then maybe trying it a second time before you actually do it. Maybe trying it a second time with those tweaks will give you a totally different result. And if it went, relatively well the first time, same thing, examine it, figure out why maybe it didn't go as well as you thought, but maybe there was one or two aspects of it that went exceedingly well, and then you thought, okay, now if it was windier out, for example, then this would have worked even better because the wind helped carry, whatever. So you've got the people, you've got the place, you've got the conditions, you've got the timing. And then, you've got the experiment itself, right? So you've got to make sure you've got all of the equipment or whatever it is that you might need there in front of you. It's everything's there and ready to go. And then once you've tried it and you've figured out what works and what doesn't work, then you just do it. And then you repeat it again and you do it. and as many times as you need to repeat it to get the result that you're looking for. And yeah, don't be afraid of trying, because the trying leads to the doing, and the doing leads to your success. That's my musing for today. Have a great one, everyone.